Hey, I did the one thing that should work is disconnecting the internet and put it back on. So anyway, let's hope that it works now and I don't have to worry about anything else. But yeah, let's just start again, shall we? So if you're just here watching this video, you're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about. But yes, internet problems is very annoying, but nothing I can do about that, even though it did say that it was completely fine. But anyways, we're gonna start this right now. Let's go from the beginning with Levi right here. Uh, Hopefully I don't get any more problems because that's really going to screw me over. But anyways, let's start it right now. So, hey everyone, welcome back part 2. For real this time, hopefully, if this stupid bar stays green. Anyways, I'm going to rush it through a little bit because we've already went through like multiple times already. Stats, HP is pretty nice. Strength, where's the sound? I don't know. Don't ask me. I think it's just because I closed the game and went back on it like this. We don't need sound. HP is pretty nice. Strength is pretty high. He's going to mostly be DPS units. Defense and mind is actually pretty high for our DPS units. Most tanks, obviously tanks would have a lot higher than that, but since it's DPS unit, that defense and mind is pretty high. So he's not a glass cannon type unit, considering he has that decent strength. Defense and mind, I mean. HP resistance -20 to fire, 10 to earth, 25 to thunder is not bad because that's alright. Resistance to blind, curse, stun, illness, I think. Abilities, nothing interesting here really. Mostly going to be down to the animations and how fast they are and everything. Skill 1, shoot a wire that pulls unit to enemy for a medium area earth combo attack. Skill 2 is pretty much the same thing. Skill 3 is the same thing as well, but it's in a wide area instead. I know his skill 3 is 18 hits, so with dual wield that's around 36 or so hits, so it's going to be pretty damn good. And I've seen all of his animations in the videos, and his animation for skill 3 in my opinion seems pretty fast, but we're going to have to test that out later hopefully. Skill 1 and skill 2 isn't that bad either. Skill 2 is a bit slow for some of his hits at the end, but we'll have to try that out in a little bit. Now special, powerful earth combo attack to all enemies, so it is to all enemies. Since I don't know about you, but I personally don't like specials that are only against one enemy. This special, since it's against all enemies, I think might be pretty decent, and he's got some other skills as well which are going to help his special and all of his skills as well, but I feel like his special is going to be able to do some decent DPS if you want it to. Let's go over traits now. Trait 1, physical damage plus 30%, damage cap plus 5,000. When physically attacking, cut enemy defense -20%, then deal damage. Now I do like those cut defense skills, they're pretty useful. I don't know how useful exactly, because I don't really notice much of a difference, because I don't really test them. Like if I put on piercing or something, and then took it off and see what the damage difference is. I've never done that, but I'm assuming that's going to be pretty useful. And I do like having those. Half the chance of losing the effect of the skill Snap Blade. Now that's going to be pretty nice, because I personally, when I used Mikasa, I felt like Snap Blade kind of broke a lot of the time. I used like 3 skills and then the buff would disappear. I don't know if you saw my part 1 video slash whatever you want to call it, but when I tried out Mikasa in one of the story stages, I felt like she lost that buff way too often, so I'm glad that they're kind of fixing this unit, with halving the chance of losing the effect, which is gonna allow him to use even more skills, hopefully, before it disappears. But there's the one rare chance that you're going to lose the buff on your first skill, which can still happen, by the way, but less chance of that happening. Battle start plus 3 more gas buffs from the skill ODM gear. Now, ODM gear, I haven't really used that much because I haven't really used these collab units yet too much, because I've mostly been focusing on the bosses and playing other games, but hopefully that's going to change with this unit. ODM gear is down here somewhere. Yeah, this one where you get 5 gas buffs. When a skill is used far enough away, use 1 gas buff to boost movement speed and deal and damage plus 30%. Now, I don't know much about this, but I have heard that it's pretty damn good. So the fact that you can get 3 more gas buffs is going to be pretty nice. When physically re-attacking, damage plus 40% and damage cap plus 5,000. Now this is another one of those conditional skills slash traits. Mikasa had a trait which increased her critical damage cap, right? Now I personally feel like this unit, Levi, with his traits, damage cap trait so far is a lot better because first of all you got plus 5,000 all the time, which is great. And then you got 5,000 when physically rear-attacking. Now I know you gotta do rear-attacking, but that is a lot better than having to hope to get lucky to get a crit, you know? You can just go behind the enemy and then there you go, you got that plus 5,000 damage cap. A lot easier to, you know, kind of get that damage cap instead of hoping for crits. So I personally like his damage cap trait so far a lot better than Mikasa already. And it seems like he's got some pretty good traits, especially aimed towards this collab. So let's go over the skills now. There's quite a lot of very good skills here, not gonna lie, I do like these skills. When I saw the video, I was kind of very surprised of what he has here. Attack up max, Fighting Spirit 5, Illusion, Human Slayer is great. I do like Human Slayer because that's gonna allow him to be pretty decent in arena because most arena units are humans, so there you go. And also some bosses are humans too, and maybe I've seen a stage in this collab, in this update. It might be a hard stage with like a boss or something. That's what it seems like. If it is, then most likely they're going to be humans, so this is going to be useful for that. Maybe, possibly, if you want. I don't know. But there are a few bosses that are humans, so that's going to be great. Special boost without Human Slayer is a great combination to have. Auto Brave, Auto Protection is great too, because they're both continuous effects. And they're quite expensive in terms of skill cost, so the fact that they have these auto skills already, very nice. Awaken, I personally feel like Awaken's very useful, even in hard content sometimes, but mostly in arena, I just have it on everyone, it's just so good. Earth High Drive, more damage. Earth Mega Drive is more damage cap for physical and special damage, which is very nice, by 2000. Ale of Glory, Surprise Attack is going to go well with his trait too, which is more damage and damage cap when rear attacking, so that's going to be pretty nice. Allow him to hit his caps a lot easier when hitting from behind. Less speed is even more movement speed, which I think he does get a lot of movement speed from ODM gear, all of those gas buffs. I have seen them be ridiculously fast, which is quite fun. Armor Piercer, I think we've only had that on one other unit. When physically attacking, transfer enemy defense minus 30% and deal damage. Now this one, I just realized this stacks with his trait 1, which also does it by 20% defense, so that seems pretty nice, not gonna lie. It's gonna be able to cut enemy defense by basically, I don't know if it adds them, it probably doesn't, probably does 20% and then 30%, you know, or whatever way round. It does them one at a time, it doesn't add them to 50%. That makes sense. Still a nice skill to have, since we don't have it on any arc either. Shockwave 2, I personally like Shockwave skills mostly for arena. They seem pretty useful because a lot of units in arena use guard skills, so that's going to be pretty nice. True Dual Wield, now this one is the second time I've seen this skill. We've first seen this on Summer Alice, which I personally felt like she was a pretty good unit, and her special was pretty strong, not gonna lie. But maybe Levi's special would be pretty strong because he does have a few damage cap increases for his special, and his special is an AoE skill, so he has potential for his special to be able to do some pretty decent damage, and maybe if you put on Eldravana, UR his special could be, you know, maybe equivalent to normal Alice special, maybe not, I don't know, but you could try some builds out and see how it goes, which is pretty fun. Sword Mega Boost, even more physical damage cap, which is great. I don't know if you're seeing this, but he seems like he has quite a lot of damage cap skills. If you're keeping track, he's got quite a lot. So far we've got Earth Mega Drive, and now we've got Sword Mega Boost. And there's still a few more down here. Pretty good. Quick Trigger is nice. I personally prefer the other one, Quick Reload. I like that one a lot because we don't have that one on Arc or anything yet, so Quick Trigger is still nice. Sharp Eyes is great. I personally like using Sharp Eyes on a lot of units that can manage to have either a lot of MP or can get a lot of MP back from Goddess Kiss hits or something. Combo Master 2 is pretty nice, I guess, because his skill 3 does do a lot of hits, so since he's got True Dual Wield, his special is going to do a lot of hits too. So that's going to be pretty nice with True Dual Wield. Now, Giant Killing 2, I haven't seen Giant Killing 2 on that many units. I don't know what units have had Giant Killing 2. I think A2 from near Collab had it, I think. Increased damage cap and damage to bosses. And this does include special as well, so that's pretty good. So there you go, that's even more damage cap if you're up against bosses. I kind of expected this from these AOT units. So you got 2000 here if you're up against bosses, and then you got 2000 more from Mega Boost, then 2000 more from Mega Drive. That's pretty nice so far. Death Gorge, chance to apply instant death to units where any enemies doesn't apply to bosses or arena, obviously. Pretty nice to have. Maybe in God stages if you want. I wish they would release more God stages in story because I kind of want those more crystals. Snap Blade, now all of these skills we've probably seen before. There are a few new ones down there, but these four here we've seen before. I'm going to briefly go over them anyways. More damage cap, chance to lose the buff, and more damage as well. So 8,000 more damage cap, and his trait 1 does have half the chance of losing this effect, so that's pretty nice. So I feel like Snap Blade, I personally felt like Snap Blade on Mikasa and Eren, I personally didn't like it first of all, but now that Levi has half the chance of losing the effect, I personally feel like Snap Blade can be pretty decent, and since it's 8,000 damage cap and he has some pretty high damage cap, I personally like it now. I kind of changed my mind around about all of these skills. Change blades. When you lose Snap Blade, reapply the buff after 10 seconds. Pretty nice. Happens 4 times. Now, he's not going to lose the buff that much because he half the chance. I haven't looked at any of the paid equipment yet. I'm going to be having a look at that after I look at the arc and after I finish this unit. I don't know anything about the paid equipment yet because I've only seen that there's a sword and an accessory, but I don't know what the traits are or anything. So we're going to be looking at real soon after we go over everything. I'm quite interested to know what he has. I'm hoping they're pretty good because I am expecting to get this unit. Scout Regiment, we've had more damage, more physical damage to bosses based on how many allies have this skill. I don't really care too much about this because I don't have the arc, but if you do have the arc from part 1, it's going to be more useful to you. ODM gear, we talked about that already. More movement speed and skill and more damage when using a gas buff when you're far enough away. He does get +3 more gas buff, so that's great. Not gonna lie, that's pretty nice. I kind of want to see what happens when you use all of his gas buffs. You got 5, then you got 3 more. Use all of them. I I really don't know if they stack all the buffs, because if they do, just wow, that'd be so good. But I don't know if it does or not. I haven't tested them out. Now these two last skills are unique to Levi, so these are going to be the more interesting skills. When not a max HP, strength and defense plus 20%. Now we've had skills, a lot of skills, which increase strength, for example, at max HP. Now this increases strength and defense when not at max HP. Now it can be at any time when you're below max HP, so that's pretty nice, not gonna lie, because if you're in arena, maybe that's gonna be more useful. I think it will. Last skill here, apply physical attack damage plus 25% buffed and inflict a physical attack damage taken plus 10% debuff on all allies. Now this is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing is you're buffing everyone on the team. Bad thing is you're debuffing everyone and making them take more physical damage by 10%. Now I personally feel like this skill isn't going to be that good in arena because you're going to take more damage, but being able to do more damage, if it can, if it can stack with other physical damage buffs, then that's going to be incredibly good, but I don't know if it is. It might not be a unique icon, it might just be a generic icon. If it is, then it's still pretty good, but not the best. So that's everything about Levi so far, all of his skills and everything. I think he's going to be a pretty solid unit. Not going to lie, he has a lot of damage cap increases. let me do the math right now. Let me just do the calculations right here. So you start off with 9,999. His trait 1 gives plus 5,000. So plus 5,000. And then when rear attacking, you get plus 5,000 more. Already at 20,000 when rear attacking. And then the Earth Mega Drive is plus 2,000 more. And then you've also got Sword Mega Boost, which is plus 2,000 more. And then Giant Killing 2, plus 2,000 when against bosses. And then last one is Snap Blade, which is plus 8,000. Add that together, you got a ridiculous damage cap of 34,000. Now, not gonna lie, that's actually a very incredibly high damage cap. And even though they are kind of conditional damage caps, you got hit from behind and stuff like that, and Snap Blade could lose the buff, and you got to be against bosses as well. But if you have all of those, 34,000 damage cap without anything else, like without any damage cap equipment and without, Sarah and Chinkili units like that, is an incredibly high damage cap, not gonna lie. I personally feel like that's gonna be pretty nice. Now, his damage cap of 34,000, if I times it by the amount of hit counts that his skill 3 is, which I think is like 36, then that's 1.2 million, which is quite high, I'm not gonna lie. Being able to do 1 mil damage in a skill 3 or more than that is pretty strong. So let's go over the arc next. I wish I could get the sound back. One thing I could do to fix this is by doing this, which I might as well do that, because I kind of feel bored without all the music in the background. I could have like a track playlist, but I really don't want to put on copyright music. I used to play a lot of Panda Rise music when I did Knights of Dragon streams, but since I don't play that anymore, I don't do that anymore. Here we go. Let's get right back into it and go with, let's showcase the arc now, which I feel like the arc seems pretty interesting. It has some pretty good skills, but we're gonna have a look at that right now. And after we go over the arc, we will go over his paid equipment, which I am quite interested into seeing what he has for paid equipment, because if he has even more damage cap on his paid sword or something, that's gonna be so good. He's gonna have such a high damage cap without anything else. It's gonna be so great. Let's have a look. So, Eren versus the female Titan. So, stats, incredibly high HP, ridiculously high HP, I don't know why, that's just, I like that HP. Strength is also pretty good. Defense is decent too, and mind is actually pretty good too. I'm not mad about those stats, they're actually pretty nice. Now let's go over the trait. I don't know what I think about this trait really. It seemed pretty decent, but let's see. Special damage boost based on number of living allies, maximum of 80%. Now 80% max damage on special. Now that is pretty nice, but let's say this. If you don't have Eldravana for special damage and damage cap, then this might be a good alternative. But if you've got Eldravana, then that is going to be superior for special damage, because I think it boosts special damage by 120% and gives damage cap as well. I don't know how much, maybe 5,000 or so, but obviously Eldravana is going to be a lot better for if you want more special damage and damage cap for that. But it's still nice that this is here for more special damage. Damage to guarding enemies plus 20%. That's pretty nice, especially for arena, because you have a lot of tanks that have guarding. Even someone like Spirit Maiden Tharia could have a lot of guarding skills, which is kind of annoying, but that could be useful. Damage taken when guarding, minus 20%. Interesting. When an enemy uses a special, restore unit special gauge by 30% once per wave. When an enemy using a special, that's quite interesting. It's only once per wave. If it could happen more times, like around 3 times per wave, that could be pretty nice, but since it's only 1 time per wave, if you're up against a boss that likes to spam their special skills, it's only going to charge up once by 30%, which I guess is alright. Now, one thing I want to note is you're not getting a continuous damage up, like a continuous physical damage up. You're only getting 20% more damage to guarding enemies, and less damage taken when you're guarding, more special damage, and then that special gauge 30% when an enemy using a special. So it's kind of an interesting trait, not gonna lie, I do like it, but I don't see a world where I would specifically use this, you know. Maybe in arena, but at the same time, maybe not. Probably not, because the special damage and the special recharge, you know, it's not going to do anything in arena. So I don't really care too much about this trait. I personally feel like the trait 1 on the part 1 arc is a lot better, since it increases damage cap against bosses, physical damage cap to bosses. So I personally feel like this trait is not that great, but is not terrible either, so a decent trait. Nothing interesting though, really. So the skills here, I personally feel like there's a lot of good skills here. So if you manage to get this arc, mostly going to be for the skills. Now we've got some new skills here, 3 new skills. Counter charge is a new one. I was very interested to know what the skill cost of these skills are going to be. When counter activates, recover 1 second of SCT. Now here's the thing, we pretty much don't have any units which are focused on counter and doing counters. Maybe in the future, counter charge will be useful. Like, maybe there'll be a unit that has a chance to, or has a increased chance to counter, and when it counters it does something like gains a damage cap buff when countering for a certain amount of time. Something like that, you know, I'm just making that out of thin air, but maybe in the future counter charge will be useful for like a counter unit, you know. Or maybe that counter unit will already have this skill, you don't know. But this is the first time we're seeing this skill, so it's still going to be useful. I don't know how useful really, but it's nice that it's here. HP up 4, don't really care too much, but HP up's pretty nice. Now, Battle of the Titans is a very interesting skill. This is a unique collab skill, so can be pretty good. When no armor or weapons are equipped, damage dealt plus 20% and damage taken minus 20%. Now for only 5 SC, that is incredibly good. Now where is this going to be useful? For Loxus in Arena, that's pretty much the main use you're going to have for this skill. Now in the future there might be more units that might benefit from this as well, but right now Loxus in Arena is going to greatly benefit from this skill a lot. So if you weren't using Loxus that much in Arena and you have this arc now, maybe you might want to start using him again, because this is going to be incredibly good for him. I can't really think of anyone else that's going to have a lot of usage from this, but mostly Loxus in Arena. And you're not going to want to use this on really anything else, because most of the time you're going to be using dual wield and having weapons and armors. Most of the time on most units you're going to need that, but Loxus is the only unit that's really going to benefit from this. Auto protection is alright, we've seen that before though, so nothing crazy I think. So auto protection is nothing great, but that's alright. Now Ultimate Boost 3 is another skill that I'm very interested on having, hopefully, but probably not. Power of Specials plus 50%. For 8 skill cost, that is quite expensive, but if you're going for a full special damage build, like if you're going for a special damage build for Levi and you have this arc as well as Levi, this is going to be great. More special damage if you're not hitting cap, or another thing, if you are having a hard time hitting your cap on Alice or Summer Alice, then you can put on Ultimate Boost 3. This is going to be incredibly useful. So I personally like Ultimate Boost 3. Battle of the Titans has a few usage, and Counter Charge doesn't have that much usage, but Ultimate Boost 3 has quite a lot of usage even though it is expensive. I personally feel like Ultimate Boost 3, since it's the first time we've seen it and no unit has it, incredibly valuable. Now I wouldn't recommend to go for this arc. I wouldn't recommend to wail for it and just pity it or anything like that, but depending on your situation or if you want to. But let's say you get the unit and you're thinking of using a few more crystals to try and get this. You can if you want, but we've still got one thing to go over, which is the Archive reward. I'm getting too excited about the paid equipment that I haven't seen yet. Our key reward is an accessory. 500 HP, 62 defense, 29 mind. Those stats are pretty decent for an accessory. Trait, chance to nullify physical / special damage. Not the best trait in my opinion. Maybe it has a decent chance for that to happen, but I personally like accessories that increase damage. Those are the most useful skills I like using, so I probably won't use this for the trait. Maybe in arena, we'll see. Now, resistances attribute 10 to fire. Since Levi does have -20 to fire, this could be useful, +5 to ice as well. Nothing to element. Nothing really interesting about this accessory. It is alright, but I personally don't really care too much about this. It's not that great. Like, if it increased skill damage by like 10%, I would like that a lot, but chance to nullify physical / special damage. You could use it in the arena if you want, because it's also giving +10 fire resistance, which could allow Levi to maybe survive a hit from Roy. Most likely not. Maybe don't bother with trying. But it's not the best arcade reward, but if you manage to get it, it's still nice to have, so there you go. Pretty decent one. Now, I personally feel like this arc is a pretty good one. The stats are pretty good, the trait is whatever, but I personally feel like the main thing here is the Ultimate Boost 3. That's going to be incredibly useful. Battle the Titans as well. If you've got Loxus for Arena, it's going to be great. Counter Charge has the potential to be useful in the future, or if you want to go for a full counter build, maybe for like Baland, even though he's old right now. He does have a chance to use a skill 1 when countering, I think. So yeah, that's what I think of this arc. It's going to be a pretty good arc. I would very much like to have this arc, but if I manage to get the unit early, and I've done all the summons I want to, then I'm definitely not going to go for this arc. Even though I would like to have the Ultimate Boost 3 a lot, but since it's not a collab skill, there's a very high chance that Ultimate Boost 3 is going to come back in the future for future units or future arcs as well, so that's the arc. I personally feel like it's pretty good, and the unit is also incredibly good with this high damage cap. Now, one last thing we should go over is the paid equipment, which I haven't seen yet, so I'm incredibly interested in seeing what his paid equipment is. So let's go to the trading space. One thing I want to do first is look at all the other trading space available, because they have updated this event with other things. I haven't gotten everything because I was kind of waiting. So you got one Levi Prism here. There's one Levi Prism in one of the hard stages that they released. I haven't tried it, I don't know what it's about, but I know there's one prism there. And there's the last prism in the event missions. Same thing with Mikasa. And there's also some tickets, so I might as well get those. Only 2 tickets though. I already used a few tickets. I don't really care too much about tickets because I never get anything. And there isn't really anything else new here, but just make sure to get everything you can from this event. I have gotten a lot of materials, these ones. I have been slacking on a few days, but I've been doing alright. Now let's go over the paid equipment for Levi. Now, I'm gonna do this one at a time. I'm gonna look at the stats first, and then I'm gonna go over the traits. I'm not gonna look at the trait until I've gone over all the stats first, so let's look at these. This is a sword, and the other one is an accessory. So the stats of the sword, paid sword. Levi only, Earth attribute sword, which is nice. Since he is an Earth unit. Stats of this sword, 253 strength, which is pretty high. I feel like the stats of paid equipments have been a lot higher recently, which is kind of a new thing, I guess, because I think that stats of paid equipment have been low compared to Archive rewards and Godforged weapons, so there you go. Defense 35 and Mind 8 is alright, I guess, mostly the strength, because it is going to be a DPS unit. Now, what is the trait? The trait is the main thing I'm interested in. I'm hoping it's going to be useful. I'm hoping for more damage cap. Let's see what it is. So, Earth attack damage cap plus 1500. Great. Happy about that. Physical attack damage plus 10%. Great stuff. Special damage plus 30%. Even more special damage. I personally like that trait. More damage cap for earth attacks, which does apply to special. Keep that in mind. Physical and special, all of his hits, because he's an earth unit, is going to apply that damage cap, which is great. More physical damage by 10%, which is pretty nice too, and special damage by 30%. I think his special is going to be pretty strong. I kind of want to try a full special build for him to see what his special damage can be. Yeah, this is the paid weapon. I'm going over the paid equipment right now. I personally feel like this sword is pretty good. I personally like it. More damage cap and damage and special damage. I personally feel like it's perfect really for a paid sword. Pretty good. Now, let's go over the accessory, because the accessory it could be better, you don't know. I'm just gonna have a look. Let's look at the accessory stats first. HP 500 is okay. Defense of 51 and mind of 24. Stats are kind of average really. Nothing crazy. Now what is the traits? There has been some interesting accessory traits, so what is it? Chance to nullify physical damage taken. Okay. Damage from bosses minus 10%. And continuous haste effect. Ailment resistance to stun, and I always forget that name, but you know what I mean. Illness, right? I feel like this trait for this accessory isn't as... I mean, it depends, really. I personally feel like the sword's going to be more useful because of the damage cap and special damage and stuff like that, but this accessory is still going to be useful because continuous haste is going to save that SC for continuous haste, because continuous haste is like 7 SC, right? So you're saving that SC. So I personally feel that this accessory is already valuable right there with a continuous haste. And let's say you're already hitting your damage cap, then this accessory can be incredibly useful. Now if you want more damage cap, or if you need more damage for your skills or special, then maybe you want to use something different, but continuous haste and chance to nullify damage taken, damage from bosses minus 10%. I personally like this accessory. I do like it, but I personally feel like the sword is going to be more valuable, so if you have a choice of either one of these, I'd personally recommend the sword, but again, it depends on your account. If you've got a lot of good swords, then maybe you want the accessory. If you've got a lot of good accessories, maybe you want the sword instead. But I'm personally going to go for the sword first, and then the accessory next, because I feel like the sword for the more damage cap. I personally like damage cap. I want as much damage cap as possible. So I personally want this sword first. And I'm probably going to get the accessory anyways as well, second, but we'll see. So, some pretty good paid equipment, obviously. Free-to-play players, don't worry about it. You've got a lot of good alternatives still, but these paid equipments are pretty good, and you've also got prisms here. Prisms don't really do much, only +2 SC, so you don't really have to worry about that, but I would probably recommend to get both the sword and the accessory, and not worry about the prisms. Only worry about prisms if you've got a lot of leftover credentials. Might as well get them. So that's pretty much everything showcased, well, reviewed. Now, what's the next thing to do? There's a few things I wanted to do. First of all, we should move on to summons next. After that, we will see how it goes, and then we'll pretty much go from there. I do want to do some of the event a bit later, and hopefully try out Levi, but we'll see how it goes. And with Mikasa, I use most of my free crystals. With Levi, I'm mostly going to be using paid crystals, because I'm willing to go out and use the 30,000 paid crystals just to get Levi, because I personally feel like he's going to be one of the top DPS units, considering his damage cap is so high. So we're going to be going into this right now with the step gacha. I should use my tickets first, so I should really do that. I might be skipping the first one because there's only a few summons, it's not even a 10 pull, so let's hope we can get a lot luckier than we did in part 1, because I still don't have Mikasa, but I kept telling myself I don't need Mikasa, but I kind of still wanted her for arena and stuff like that, but I guess I don't need it. Where is the ticket gacha It's gonna be over here. Yes. Might as well use these and skip them. Hopefully we can get lucky with this one. If we don't, then I'm not too worried because I will be getting him anyways, so hopefully we don't have to 2 golds. I guess that's fine. If we can manage to get the Arc 2, I would very much like that, because the Arc, I would like to have that a lot. Because the Arc with Ultimate Boost 3, I would like that. So let's continue with the step gacha. I most likely won't be using any free crystals. Most likely. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping we get more lucky than last time, because last time was just incredibly bad, but... So gold and 3 showed up. Usually means a good sign, but it's not even a 10 pull, so I don't have any hopes for this, but we'll see. Only 1 animation, but it is a red, so who knows. Even if we get something early, like the unit... 2 arcs, really. If we manage to get the unit early, I'm still going to be going for the paid sword and the paid accessory, because I do want both of those. I'm surprised we got 2 reds from that. I was kind of hoping we got something new, like the arc or the unit, but we've only just started, so I guess I can't really complain. But one thing I'm complaining about is we've gotten so many dupes of SSR arcs. So many SSR arc dupes. It's only a blue, it's only 3, so I'm going to skip this one, because I have a feeling there's nothing in here. Very strong feeling. And we are getting the paid credentials from this too, so... yeah. So lap 2 is 15,000, and then the last lap is another 15,000. So we're going to be doing this. I guess what I will do is I'll be using paid crystals until we got enough to get the sword and the accessory. And then after that, maybe we'll do like 1 or 2 temples with free crystals, and then the rest were paid. I don't know, we'll see. But I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully everyone else has had some decent luck, because my luck so far with this collab hasn't been that great, and I haven't really done much with this collab. It's only 3. I don't have a good feeling about this one. I don't have any vibes. Bad vibes. No reds from this yet. It didn't even give me an animation. So we're at 21 credentials right now. Once we do get the unit, I will be switching over to the Steam version, because the Steam version is a lot faster. We haven't done that many summons yet, so I guess we can't really complain yet, because we haven't done that many. 3 blue. Skip time. Another arc, what would you expect? I mean, it's not even trying at this point. We've only gotten like 1... We haven't gotten that many units. We've mostly just gotten arcs, which have been dupes, so... yeah. I'm not worried though. At least we can get this sword now, and then 2 more 10 pulls, and then we can get the accessory, I guess. And then I guess I can use a few free crystals, but kind of wanted to save some free crystals, but let's see how it goes. I'm hoping we can get the arc, because I would like the arc. 3 again. It's been a lot of 3 showing up, but it's a blue. It's probably going to be nothing here unless there's going to be some animations. If there's 0 or 1 animations, it's going to be gold, so I'm going to skip if it's going to be that. Ready for the skip button to happen. Yep. 2 reds though. That is... I don't know what that is. Okay. That is Levi. I was kind of hoping for the Arc, but I guess I can't complain really, because that means I can save my paid crystals. So I don't have to worry. I'm still going to be going for the paid accessory, because we just need to do one more 10 pull, so I'm happy with that. Pretty happy with that, not gonna lie. A lot better luck than we did with part 1, so that is pretty nice. Let me put him on real quick. I will just change this team around and put him on. I don't know if I'm gonna go for the Arc. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. He's right here. There you go. I do kind of want the Arc for the ultimate boost too. 3. I will be doing one more 10 pull at least, because I do need this accessory. So I could go for prisms, but I don't know yet. We'll do one more, and then we'll stop it at that for the moment, and then we'll start doing some other stuff. I mean, nobody showed up, really. It's a gold though. Can I get the Arc now? I'll be quite happy if we get the Arc, because the Arc skills are pretty nice. I would like the skills, but I don't have a feeling that we're going to get anything good from this. 3 animations, but it doesn't mean anything. It's an Arc, but we've had a lot of Arc dupes, so I don't have any hope for this. We've had way too many SSR Arc dupes. There's one SSR I'm missing. It's only one. Of course, it's a dupe. What would you expect? I can't complain. The animations never mean anything. Okay. I'm going to switch over to the Steam version now. If we're going to do more summons, then I don't know. I'm probably not going to use any more paid crystals, so I will switch over right now, and then after that we will showcase. We will learn all of the skills on Levi and try them out and everything like that. So here comes the fun part, the part that I'm looking for. Where's the right thing? I always press. I should name these, shouldn't I? There you go. Easy. Well, that's a big update. Why is the update so huge? I guess I could have kept the other tab open while this is updating. Well, I'm gonna keep an eye on this update, and I'm gonna mute if I can. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I'm capable of muting one window and keeping the other one unmuted. I guess I can do this. There you go. There's the background music. That one's gonna be updating, so I'm gonna keep that on and open. Once it's finished doing that, I'm gonna be switching over to the Steam version. So let's first of all start off with getting this. Okay, never mind. I guess because it's doing the update, I can't do that. Let's just wait then. I'll minimize this. And once I thought it was just going to be a 20 megabyte update, because that's what the update that I had on my phone and on the emulator was 20 megabytes, so I thought this would be a lot shorter than this, but I guess we have to wait. But it'll be worth it because the emulator version is a lot slower. I personally, I'm gonna do this from now on. Whenever I showcase the unit and try the unit out in stages, I'm gonna switch over to the Steam version because it's a lot faster and smoother. So Hey, how's it going? We're just gonna be showcasing Levi in a minute. Once this is done, which shouldn't be only be a few minutes. Once this is done, we're gonna be going over learning all of Levi's skills and everything like that. Same thing as usual, we're just gonna be using his base skills as it is. We're not gonna be learning anything. And since I personally feel like these collab units are going to be incredibly useful for newer players, because all of these units have dual wield, so you don't have to worry about having Sandworm. The one thing you kind of have to worry about is having Trishula, so I would highly recommend, if someone's starting out and doing their reroll, then I highly recommend to get Trishula, which is Caldina SSR Arc, and that I feel like that's more important than Sandworm. Considering these collab units have dual wield already, highly recommend Trishula first. Trishula is more important than dual wield. Yeah, Mikasa, here's the thing, I personally have a problem. I have a big problem. And that problem is, I see a new unit, I want the new unit. That's my problem. Even if I know I don't need the unit, I'm like, oh, I want to have fun, so I want to get a unit anyways. I shouldn't do that, but I can't help myself, you know. So I personally feel like Levi is definitely a unit worth having, but one problem is that you can't pity Levi with free crystals. So if you're a free-to-play player, there's no way to guarantee yourself Levi, which is very bad. You could use 90,000 free crystals and still not get Levi. The only thing that will get you is the guaranteed limited arc instead of Levi. So I don't know what you want to do, because I would highly recommend to save most of your free crystals for 90,000 pity, you know, like for a DOH unit. I know this unit is incredibly good and it's hard to get collab units guaranteed. Okay, we're on the Steam version now, and let's go. Hopefully it didn't screw me over with this. Yeah, now let's get the paid equipment now. Here's the paid sword, and then here's the paid accessory. There you go. I'm pretty certain I'm not going to go for the prisms, because paid crystals are expensive. I have to limit myself on those, because I kind of go overboard sometimes, so I'm not going to be going for those prisms, because there are 3 in the event. And let's go and have a look. So first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go and have a look at what arcs I recommend for Levi first of all. Obviously SSR arcs, go for anything really, anything increases damage or whatever, doesn't really matter. I'm mostly looking at these arcs here. Eldravana for a special. If you want a full special build, equip this. But I'm most likely going to use Council of 10 because it increases damage cap, and there's no UR arc for Earth attribute yet, so I'm going to be using this. And let's go and learn everything we can on him. I do have a few potions I could use. I might do that. Or not. Actually, I might not need to, because I might be able to get a lot of XP from the Collabs events. This is the first. I haven't gotten Mikasa, so this is. I'm glad I managed to get this unit pretty early on. Kind of perfect, really. I only make the choices I won't regret. I wish we could all be like that. I wish we could all make the choices that we won't regret. That's incredibly hard to do that, you know. Yeah, I've farmed a lot of materials. I haven't been doing as much farming as like tweaks, but I've been doing it as much farming as I been, you know, up to doing. I carry the strength of my fallen comrades. Yeah, I don't know anything about this collab. I don't know anything about the anime, so yeah. Okay, what should we do now? Next is we're gonna do the awakening last, we're going to learn all the skills now, which is, what's his ward? You should do a lot more farming. What you should do is leave story on auto farm. What's the ward? I'm hoping for a plus 100 earth damage cap. Nope. Earth damage plus 1%. Why wasn't it damage cap? Okay, let's just learn everything here. Should be able to do this pretty easily. And then after this we will look at equipments. Because equipments, I'll be using the paid equipment, but I'll also be going over the free-to-play alternative equipments. Like one thing I can think of is the sword that increases damage cap, ruby sword, whatever, that one. If you're hitting cap, then might as well use that. If you're not, then there's some good. There's most of the best weapons in the game are Godforged weapons, which are free to play, so keep that in mind. Even though this game can be pay to win a lot of the time, especially if you're very unlucky, the equipment and being able to, once you got the unit once, you don't have to get dupes to increase its stats. Otherwise, I don't like games like that. Games that force you to get dupes of units, I really hate them. They're the worst thing. Because it makes you feel like, if you only got the unit once, it makes you feel like you're missing out, and even if you get the unit, it doesn't really matter unless you got dupes. But this game isn't like that, so that's great. So we'll be showcasing all the skills in a little bit, quite soon. I am looking forward to it. And I don't know how much skill stock he has. What I'm hoping for is 2 stock of his skill 3, either 3 or 4 of his skill 2, and 4 of his skill 1. That's what I'm expecting. Probably 2 skill 3, 3 skill 2, and 4 skill 1. Probably. One thing I've got to say is that we haven't had any units that have only been able to hold 1 skill 3 in a long time. I know Roy could only hold 1 skill 3, which was sad, but he has alchemy, so it don't really matter. And it's kind of a good thing, really. But apart from that, a unit like, I think, Shift Ray has only 1 stock of his skill 3, I think. And I don't have purple orb, so sad. Sharp Eye is going to be pretty nice. I probably going to recommend Goddess Kiss on this unit. Highly recommend that, most likely. Yeah, I don't know about you. I've had a lot of experience with gacha games. I've played a lot of gacha games. Most of the gacha games I've played have been anime related waifu games, but if we ignore that, I played a lot of gacha games, and most of them I've stopped playing. Last Cloudia is the only gacha game that I've stick to because I feel like it's the best gacha game. I'm never gonna quit this game. Maybe I will, I don't know. But not for a long time. I just feel like this is the gacha game that I'm gonna stick to for an incredibly long time. I've played it for years. And I've played other gacha games which I've stuck to for like a month or a few weeks and I've already quit. So, played a lot of gacha games. I mean, my main game used to be Knights and Dragons, but that isn't a gacha game. It's more of a guild game and doing events and stuff. I guess a so-called gacha. I have 2 other gacha games that I still play. Puzzle and Dragons and the Battle Cats are 2 games that I still play that both have gacha related, systems in. I personally enjoy Puzzle and Dragons, but I'm not a veteran or anything. I've played it for years, but I'm only a casual player. I go in, I log in, get the free stuff, and use them on pulls on the gacha. If I don't get anything, I just log off and then don't play it again until the next day to log in to get the rewards. That's the only thing I do in that game. But if I do manage to get a few units that are pretty nice, then I build a team around those units, which take a long time, and then I try them out, and that's it. I just have fun with that game. I don't really go for the hard content, but Last Cloudia is a bit different. In Last Cloudia, I do push very high in like the time trial events and the arena because I just enjoy it. But other games, I don't enjoy it as much. I mostly just go casual games. Like the Battle Cats, I played a lot. Yeah, Puzzle Dragons, my luck from the free at 100 magic stones was pretty bad. I used the 100 free stones on the Godfest because I heard that the Collab didn't have that good of valuable units. I heard that Collab didn't have that many good units. Obviously there are a few good units, and I already had 2 7 stars, so I used all of those stones in the Godfest, which I only got 1 really good unit, which it was, I don't know if it's even that good. I'm not that good at Puzzle Dragons because I don't really know how to build teams or anything. I just build random teams. It's hard for me to understand everything in that game. I don't do all of the hard stages. They're just too hard. I don't know how to do it. I used them on the Godfest, and I got one of the Godfest exclusive units, but it wasn't Blackbird. The only Blackbird type, the only submarine unit I've got is the light one. I really want the other ones. But anyway, I think people are leaving because we're not being Last Cloudy related. Let's go back to Levi. I'm going to use a few potions maybe. Yeah, I got Daytona. I've got a good build for Daytona. And he's my main team. I've got a few other good units. Like one of the units from Christmas. What's her name? I kind of want to go log in just to check what I got. In the meantime, let's use a few potions. Get him to around level 40 for now. I think I usually get him to around level 60, don't I? Yeah, I'll get him to level 60 then. And then the rest of the levels I will do from farming. I was really hoping that I could get the Blackbird, but I didn't, which is sad because I really wanted it. And there's no pity in that game. So if I have a look at my units, I've actually got a lot of units, I just don't know how to build them. I really don't know how to build teams. So level 60 Levi, a lot of XP. I'm hoping I can get to level 45. I have all of the star sprouts. I have every single star sprout. The light, water, and fire one. I have, yeah, this one. I got Holy Knight, Magical, Manoa. I actually went whale for her. Bought 100 magic stones for some reason. Don't know why. Because I don't even play the game that much anyway. I just felt like, oh, I wanted this unit. It's fun, so I'm gonna go for it. Why do I do that? Anyways, let's go have a look at Levi's equipment. What equipment do I recommend for Levi? Well, obviously, first of all, his paid equipment. But I'm gonna have a look at alternatives. Like, I personally enjoy using this sword. So this would be a good alternative. If you do have this, definitely use it because more damage. But if you are already hitting damage cap, then probably need this, Trishula. But I'll also recommend to have Scarlet Blade. If you're hitting damage cap and need more damage cap, then use Scarlet Blade. Which I might do, but for most stages and most content, especially Arena, I'm most likely going to use Pure Blade Muramasa along with Trishula. That's what I probably recommend, is this sword with Trishula, and then there you go, you're set really. But if you're hitting damage cap, then use Scarlet Blade with Trishula. That's pretty much all you need for swords. But what I'm going to be using is his paid sword along with Trishula. I'm still using Roy, it's so good. And accessories, obviously I'm going to be using paid accessory, but apart from that, Mint Thrill Relief is very good. I would recommend using this a lot, because it's very good, especially on Levi. More movement speed, stack that movement speed, even more movement speed. I would also recommend Hail Sovereign's Ring for more physical damage cap and special damage cap. Very good. If you're hitting damage cap, I recommend this. So the build I'll probably use is this ring with Mint for Relief. That's what I'm probably going to use. But since I got the paid accessory, what's my alternative? I put on his cloak and maybe these Mint for Relief for now for more damage and movement speed. If you're not hitting damage cap and don't have the paid equipment, the paid accessory, then I'd probably recommend Mint for Relief with, oh yeah, there's one, maybe more HP or ST recovery if you want, or something like this. I would recommend, there's an accessory I'm thinking of down here which could be pretty useful. Where is it? You could put on more special damage if you want, or something like this, more attribute damage. Can be, that's pretty good, not gonna lie, it's nice. But what I'm thinking of is, where is it? It's, I know what, this one. Earth attack damage when earth attacking, chance to recover 1% of damage as HP. This is a pretty good accessory, so I'd probably recommend to use this if you got it. But what I'm going to use for now is just Levi's cloak, which is paid accessory with Mint for Relief. But that's what my Lukel was using. I'm going to go with it anyway. We're going to go with this for now. This is my build for the moment. I might change it around, maybe. But I'm going to be using this for now. And the other alternatives I mentioned, there's a lot of good swords, like I said, and Trishula's going to be the main machine you're going to use. You could use anything else if you want. Accessories, pretty much anything. Mint for Relief is going to be incredibly useful for him, because he equips sword, so there you go. And once you've got him fully built and he's hitting damage cap, increase his damage cap by as much as you can. I'm sure he can reach like 50,000 damage cap. Gonna be so fun. Okay, so 1,700 strength already. I'm gonna be trying him out in a second. Let's awaken him a few more times and then try him out. One thing I do want to do is use, I have an arc I want to use, but I have to have the Mimicry fish for the damage of that trait. Okay, I'm going to be using this for now. Pretty much the same as what I usually do with all of his base skills and the equipment I can think of for more damage. And that's going to be it. We're going to be going with him by himself. Yeah, the Game Master's arc. I do have 8,000 fish. It was painful, but I did get the 8,000 fish. I guess what I could do right now is I could learn the Mimicry fish right now first, and then, but I'm not going to do that because most of the time I don't do that, so that's going to be kind of, I'm just going to put on this one and this one instead, because it's skill damage plus 25%. I'll put that on instead, and I'll be using this with Jen for the Goddess Kiss, the honey elixir, I mean. Yeah, and we're gonna go with this, and we're gonna go in the same story stage we usually do, but keep in mind he's most likely going to hit his damage cap or close to it because he's got Human Slayer with special boost. Now, most units I showcased in this stage don't have Human Slayer, so this is going to be kind of biased. His damage is going to be a lot higher than most units. because he got Human Slayer. Yeah, getting that 8,000 fish took an incredibly long time. I kind of felt dead inside when I was doing it, but the good thing is, it was when I had nothing else I was doing, like I didn't have uni, so it was when I had a break. So what I did was fish for a few hours while watching YouTube videos for 2 hours. It took like 2 hours per day. It was incredibly painful, but I wanted to do it because I felt like it's going to be useful in arena and for a lot of units too, so I kind of wanted to do it. And I'm still concerned that I don't have 8,000 fish because I counted it multiple times and it said 8,000, but I'm not convinced if it is or not. But okay, so let's use honey elixir straight away. One thing I forgot, which I should do, I should equip Great Wall of Ruin. I did keep track of the amount of fish I was getting. I'm pretty sure it's 300 fish per day. 100 fish per stage. 3 different stages. 300 fish per day. Takes an incredibly long time. Okay, let's go in now. We should be good now. Then I can show his special. I'm hoping his special can be pretty good. Should be. And then we'll try it again. So what is this skill stock? 532. Kind of expected. 2 of his skill 3. 3 skill 2. 5 skill 1. 3 of his skill 3 would have been pretty nice, but I guess because it's strong, it's 2 is still fine. So let's start off with skill 1. I didn't see those numbers. What are those numbers? 18,000. It's pretty fast, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I don't know what numbers I'm seeing, but they are some pretty crazy numbers. And skill 2. Okay, they're all dying very fast. Okay, skill 3 is gonna be the fun one. Oh my god. I love that skill 3. That skill 3 is so good. I like that. That just melts them instantly. Let's try that again. And then we'll go back in and do the same thing again. Skill 3. What that speed? Oh my god. Okay. I like that skill 3. That skill 3 is pretty fun. That the hit sounds when he's using his skill 3 are just incredibly satisfying. One thing I want to try, I'll try in a little bit, but let me go back in again. Yeah, the skill 3 is so good. Let me go back in again. I'm gonna be using a special now. I like his skill 3 a lot. It's incredibly fun. Let's use a special. But first of all, skill 3. Skill 3. Do it again. That's so fun. 31,000. Oh, this is so good. Okay, special time. He's got true dual wield, so double hits are special. Let's see it. Obviously, damage not gonna be that high for now, but yeah, some decent hits. But obviously, you're gonna need that increased special damage. Okay, skill 2 is kind of slow for those last hits. Okay, I like that skill 3 so much. Okay, since you're not up against the boss, that's why. Oh yeah, the rear attack hits, I forgot about that. You got hit from behind. Let's do this. It's kind of hard to hit from behind, not gonna lie. Let's try and get the gas buffs and see how fast we can get. Leave me alone. Okay, that's fast. Oh, so I see, so once you're far away, you use a skill, and his movement speed, incredibly fast. So I go over here, right? He's right over there. I'm gonna try use my skill 1. Look how fast he runs. Like a million miles an hour just to get there. Do it again. Okay, Jen ruined that. I see. So the gas buffs are not buffs. I mean, once you use a gas buff, it only does the skill damage and movement speed for that current skill. That's what I'm believing. Anyway, I want to try 2 more things. First thing is, I want to try his special skill with Eldravana. Well, you are an hour, 10 minutes late. But we are showcasing him right now, so I guess it's kind of a good timing, so you can see how he is. Let's try special out now. I don't think it's going to do that much. I could have put in Theophilus. So how many hits does it do? 68 hits for a special. Okay, I'm going to try something else. You're going to enjoy this. You're going to enjoy this a lot. This is going to be with his base skills, but I'm going to put on a bunch of other units, which are going to buff all of his damage cap and everything. I like doing this. This is the fun part. This is the very fun. The best part. We're going to put on Castle 10. Right. Wait for it. We're going to put on you. And you do have Honey Elixir. Right. And then I'm going to put on Theophilus. I don't want it to do damage. Should keep it level 1, I guess. And then also Tinkili. I know where I'm going with this. I want to try it. Okay. I want to see what a damage cap can be. Put Tinkili in with Great Royal Ruin. And then I'm going to use a support which has Sarah. A lot of people using Lucario right now. That's fine. We're going this, okay? And then we're also going to change. We're going to change Mint for Relief for even more damage cap. Right? And we're going to go with this. But first, wait, there's more. Even more damage cap. I don't know if he's going to be able to hit damage cap, but I'm hoping. We're going to go with this. Here we go. Let's go. This is going to be interesting. Wait. Let's see what happens. This is always the part that I enjoy doing. Okay. Yep. Well, let's do. Wait for it. And what should I do first? So I'm gonna use. He was slow with that. Okay. AI decided to use a skill already. I should use specials first and then use the skills, shouldn't I? Honey Elixir. I can use all specials. You're gonna use all specials. And then you're gonna use Theophilus. And then you're gonna see the ridiculous damage cap that he's gonna output right here. Wait for it. Okay. Wait for it. Theophilus. Skill 3. Watch this. Skill 3. Okay. I like that. That's that. There you go. There's the damage cap. There you go. Pretty fun, not gonna lie. I notice a problem though. One problem is that his skill 3 doesn't always go from behind. Now I gotta go back to my Lucario and equip everything. That was 49,000. 49,000. Almost 50,000. He can do 50,000. He can. Cause I think he get more damage cap with his 5th enhanced, don't he? Yeah, that's great. Well, that's what I wanted to show off as his almost his max potential. That's with his base skills. He does have Human Slayer. Let's just go back to normal. So I want to tell you something. Keep in mind something. His skill 3, since it is quite a wide area attack, and it's kind of like a, you know, it goes around in a circle kind of attack. His skill 3 doesn't always be attacks from behind, because sometimes it also does it from the front, so it's kind of hard to be for every single attack to be attacks from behind with the skill 3. It's going to be like half the amount of hits going to be from behind, half are going to be from the front, which is kind of disappointing because he's losing out on some damage cap, but at the same time his damage cap's pretty high anyway, so I guess not that big of a deal. And his skill 1 and skill 2 is going to be able to benefit from those rear attack damage cap hits pretty easily. So yeah, that is Levi. That was my showcase. I could try him out a little bit more, which I kind of want to do because it's kind of fun, and I really want to try him out more, but I still need to build him and everything. Put on Trishula, and I'll go down here and put on the other accessory I was going to put on, which was this one. There you go. So I feel like it's going to be a pretty great unit. So far, it's pretty fun. Pretty good potential. Now, one thing there's a few things I wanted to do with him, which I'm not going to be able to do right now. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot Council 10. Yeah, this is just with his base skills at 4th enhanced at level 60. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna be trying one more thing. There's a few things I still want to do with Levi. Obviously, that is come up with a build for him and equip a bunch of skills. That's one thing. And another thing is I want to try him out in Arena with the Grandmaster Game Master arc. I want to use the Game Master arc on him in Arena with as much damage as I can, just to see what his damage can be in Arena compared to someone like Roy in Arena, because he's also got Human Slayer. That's going to be the one thing I'm going to be trying out in my own time, and that's going to be quite interesting. But I don't know if he's going to be good in Arena or not. Maybe damage wise he is, but survivability wise probably not. So let's go back in. I want to try one more thing here, and that's going to be using his skill 3 only, seeing how fast he can melt all these enemies. Yeah, the gas pretty useful. So let's use Council 10. Honey Elixir. I still don't have Mikasa. One thing I could do is I could do a few more pulls for Mikasa, but I don't think I want to. So let's use Theophilus to group them all together, and then we're gonna use skill 3 to melt them all really fast. There you go. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda enjoy that. It's pretty fun. One thing I didn't see was, when does Snapblade lose? When do you lose Snapblade? I guess I could test that. I know it's supposed to be like around a 0.5% chance, but I'm gonna try that one more time and then see. So here's the thing: if you don't know how the gas buffs work, basically when you're far enough away, if you have a gas buff, it's got 7 gas buffs right now. I think it gets one more gas buff at 5th enhance. If you're far enough away, it increases your movement speed so you can close the gap between you and the enemy unit. I will show you this example. I'm going to go use Theophilus, go far away, and then I'm going to try and use skill 3. Look at his movement speed. You see that zooming movement speed? he uses one of those gas buffs to increase his movement speed to get in there really fast, which also increases his skill damage of that one skill, which is actually pretty useful, not gonna lie. If you're far away, you want to get in there really fast, it's very good. Yeah, I know. And this isn't even with more movement speed increases. I could increase his movement speed even higher than this. So you can see what his movement speed can be. Pretty fast. So I did notice there that his Snap Blade did lose that buff quite fast after a few skills, but his damage cap is quite high and his skill 3 hits so fast that it's not that big of a deal if you lose the buff, but it's still quite substantial really. So I guess if you want me to stick around for a bit longer, I guess I can go into the events and do some event stuff. Well, I guess I can do conclusion now. No. So conclusion of Levi. This is usually the part where I end the stream, which is probably, yeah. So conclusion of Levi is I feel like he's going to be a pretty top tier DPS unit. He is definitely going to be the best Earth attribute attacker because there aren't that many Earth DPS units. The only ones I can think of is Edward from the, you know, and the other, I forget all these collab names, we've had so many collabs. But Edward is Earth attributes, but his damage cap's quite low compared to Levi. And also the single wield, you know, she's the other Earth attribute, single wield units. I feel like Levi is definitely going to be the top tier unit. They're probably going to rate him pretty high because it was, I don't have her, that's why I don't know her name. Does anyone, you, Leona, there you go, Leona, she is quite old now, in terms of, she's been released for quite a while, so, and Edward has been released for quite a while, so, yeah, we haven't had that many Earth attribute DPS units. But if you put Trisha on him, it kind of makes him a non-attribute kind of anyways, if you think of it like that. I think he's going to be a great unit, and if you're missing out on incredibly strong DPS unit, definitely go for him. But even if you already have units like Loxus and Roy, you're still going to benefit from having Levi because he's kind of on a different page than those units. He might not be as good, but his damage cap is probably the highest in the game in terms of dual wield damage cap. With the amount of hit counts that he does, I feel like his DPS potential is going to be pretty high. And would I recommend pulling for him? Most likely yes, because he is a lot better than Mikasa in my opinion. Mikasa was good, but I just felt like her damage was pretty low. I didn't like her damage potential. Her damage was pretty disappointing really, but her trait 2 was incredibly good in arena. She got decent things for arena, pretty much only an arena unit. And Levi is going to be good in multiple places, like arena maybe, I don't know, but since it's got Human Slayer possibly. And he's got a lot of damage cap increases, even though you got a hit from behind and the Snap Blade. He's got a lot of other damage cap increases, which kind of make up for his, you know, conditional damage caps. Which, if you have all of those conditional damage caps at the same time, his damage cap is like 34,000, without any other damage cap increases like other units and stuff like that. So, and it doesn't even include his paid weapon, which increases it by 1,500, which makes it 35,500 damage cap base with his paid weapon. So you can see why he can be crazy with his DPS potential, and since his skill 3 is an incredibly fast skill, even though you can only hold 2 of his skill 3, I feel like his DPS is going to be pretty high. and it's going to be a pretty high ranked unit. Now if you want, you could wait for the tier list, or you could just not worry about that. What I recommend is go for the units you enjoy and units that you think are going to benefit your account the most. Go for those types of units. What I would probably recommend for free-to-play players is do a few 10 pulls for this unit. If you don't get him, then try and save the rest of your free crystals, because you can't pity this unit unless using paid crystals. So yeah, that's pretty much all I think. If you want me to say anything else, then just let me know. I probably would recommend to only do a few summons and save, even though he is a hard unit to skip because he is a very strong unit. But again, I haven't done that much testing. This is just with his base skills and everything. So I don't know his max potential yet, but from the showcase I've done so far, I personally felt like he can be pretty good. I guess just to end this off, I can just try him out one more time. And then I guess I can end it here, because I don't want to make this stream too long, because the main purpose of this is to showcase everything and reviews and stuff. So let's just do this one more time. This time I'm going to try and keep in mind when he uses Snap Blade, when Snap Blade gets lost. So yeah, I feel like if you have a choice of either Mikasa or Levi, highly recommend going for Levi first. And only go for Mikasa. I think he really lost the buff, didn't he? Only go for Mikasa. Why is my... Wait. I'm getting confused with all these numbers. I see. I think I understand it now. I don't know if I will go for Mikasa. I probably won't, because I've already tried too many pulls. I think I'm just going to stick with Levi, because I think he's superior in every way. So here's the thing, I'm not hitting caps, and the main reason being because this is base skills, and he's getting more damage from hitting from behind. So when he's not hitting from behind, he's not hitting his cap. If I use a skill 3 right now, and then check if Snapblade's still here, it's not here anymore after that one skill 3. I'm gonna wait for Snapblade to be active again. I just like doing this testing because I still don't know if I like Snapblade. One skill 3. Snapblade's still there. They're all dead. Might have lost Snapblade again there. But I guess I think all of these Attack on Titan units might be arena focused units. But Levi has potential to be useful in hard stages, possibly, and maybe even I can think of one thing. Time trial events, let's say you're up against a group of humans in time trial, and they have around 5 mil HP, right? You go in there with Levi, which has Human Slayer, and you use Theopolis to group everyone together, and then Honey Elixir on Levi, start spamming his skills, and you got a second unit to use Honey Elixir if you need to end up using like 6 of his skill 3. Might be able to kill all of those enemies super fast. That's the one situation I can think of. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I personally feel like Levi's going to be an incredibly good unit. I don't know what they're going to rate him as. Obviously you can look around and see what other people think of him, but I personally feel like he's definitely going to be one of those top tier units that you don't want to miss out on. But at the same time, if you're free to play, be careful with what you spend if you're free to play, because you can't pity this unit, because collabs, you can't pity collab units. So you've got to be careful with your crystals in collabs, especially if you're free to play. So The only way to guarantee yourself a collab unit is if you use those paid crystals, which is like 30,000 paid crystals. Yes, I know some people have been pretty lucky. I am be pretty glad if you manage to get one of these collab units. Hopefully nobody waste all of their crystals on Mikasa, because I personally feel like Levi is superior. Like, they made this collab, all of these unique collab skills, Levi just improves all of them. Aaron's plan, so this skill, the damage taken 10% debuff on all allies isn't really that big of a deal, really. I recommend to have this on all the time, but if you're hitting damage cap without this and you're up against a boss which does a lot of physical damage, then remove it. But that's a very rare case, so most of the time you're gonna have that on anyways. In arena you might want to have this on, but maybe you want to take it off in arena. Kind of depends on your build. Let's say you've got a lot of tank units in arena and you've got Levi for your main DPS, and he's already doing a lot of damage without this, then you can take this off if you want your tank units to survive even more. But yeah, I still don't have Mikasa. I could do a few more pulls, but I kind of don't want to. Because, let me just go back to Mikasa real quick. I personally like this arc trait, it's pretty nice. I did a lot of summons for Mikasa, way too many. I still didn't get her, so I kind of don't want to do any more summons for her. Let me just check everything in the training space quickly. So I got 52 of these. I could try to get the arc, which would be pretty useful actually, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you should always be careful with your crystals and always save them. Mikasa's arc, I don't know which arc is better. They're both different. Like, I personally feel like this arc has better learnable skills, like Ultimate Boost 3. But the Part 1 arc has a better trait, which increases physical damage cap to bosses by 2000, and has a pretty good trait. The skills on this one aren't really as good as the other arc. This one is pretty good too. Yeah, I used all my tickets and everything. I never get anything from tickets. I wish tickets had a rate up, but they don't. Kinda sad, because I've only ever gotten a new collab unit, one time from tickets, and that was when Dr. Stone collab first came out. I got, you know, Dr. Stone himself, Senku, from a ticket, which was pretty unlucky, but that's the only time it's ever happened, and that was years ago, so, yeah. Yeah, I highly recommend, if you have a choice of either Levi or Mikasa, I highly recommend to go for Levi instead of Mikasa. They usually do collabs every few months. If you're worried about using all your free crystals and not getting anything from it, then I recommend to save for 90,000 for the pity if you're really cautious of not getting anything. So, yeah. I guess that's pretty much it for the stream. Pretty much done everything that I wanted to in this part 2 collab for all of my reviews and everything and showcase. I feel like it's going to be an incredibly good unit. I think I don't want to have to repeat myself again, so I think I've said everything. Ignore Mikasa pull for Levi. Mikasa's not going to be useful for hard stages. I feel like Mikasa for long term isn't going to have that much usability unless you care about arena. Levi's going to be able to be a lot more useful in arena. Levi can be useful for a DPS in arena, and be useful everywhere else. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for this stream. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I am expecting there's probably going to be another unit in 2 weeks from now. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more videos or anything, but I do plan to start another playthrough. I'm going to be starting Dying Light 2 playthrough very soon because Dying Light 2 comes out tomorrow, and I don't know if you've watched that game, but when I did my playthrough of Dying Light 1, I did say I was going to do a whole playthrough of Dying Light 2, since I did enjoy that quite a bit, so I'm going to be starting to play more of that pretty soon. I will try to do more Last Cloudia, but since I've got uni, my time is kind of limited, and I've been playing a lot of Pokemon and stuff. I can only stream on my computer. I can't stream on my Switch because I don't have the things available for that. But yeah, thanks for coming here. Hopefully everyone else enjoys this collab and hopefully get some good luck. Make sure to farm the event because there's a lot of good stuff in this event. Like all the materials and stuff like that, and keep farming that boss so we can get those materials. But yeah, thanks for coming here. I'll see you whenever, don't know when. I'll see you hopefully next time. But yeah, bye.